If you combine all of them together and use them for your training, you can expect around 150 pounds of resistance total. Hi there, my name is Derek and welcome to GamerBody. In this video, we're going over a review of the Whatafit Resistance Bands. I have used these bands for a little over a month now, testing them out to see what I think about them overall, and going to share them with you in this review. So without waiting around, let's take a look at the Whatafit Resistance Bands. So at its core, the Whatafit Resistance Bands are 5 different colored bands that range from 10 to 50 pounds of resistance. If you combine all of them together and use them for your training, you can expect around 150 pounds of resistance total. Each band is 48 inches or 4 feet in length, so take that into account when you decide if you want to purchase them for your home training. I come in around 5'11", so they are perfect for me for things such as bicep curls, overhead tricep extensions, overhead press, and other similar exercises. So now let's break down each band and how much resistance you can expect from each one. The lightest one of the 5 is the yellow band, and this one has 10 pounds of resistance. Next up is our blue band, and this you can expect around 20 pounds of resistance. Coming in at number 3, we have the green band, which is 30 pounds of resistance. The black band is the number 4, and this is 40 pounds of resistance. And the heaviest band we have is the red band, and this is 50 pounds of resistance. Now note, depending on how wide you put your feet for something like an overhead press, you can change how much resistance the bands are producing. It just says on the Amazon buy page that you can expect a max of 150 pounds if you combined all 5 together. Also, with each band, you'll notice that they have small carabiners at the end that you can hook things like handles or additional attachments to. This allows you again to put something like the handles they provide to you, the ankle straps, or the door anchor to do some of your exercises. So with that, let's take a look at the additional pieces of equipment you get when you order the Whatafit bands. Coming in the bag, you'll also get 2 foam grip handles that again can use little carabiners on the end to attach to the bands themselves. This is what I primarily use for my training for things like the overhead press and the bicep curls. You will also receive 2 ankle straps. Now these would wrap around your ankles and they are Velcro attachments. So again, you put them around your ankles to do things with your leg exercises. Now I personally don't use these at all. I have occasionally supplemented them in order to do them with handles instead of the foam grip handles. But honestly, these really just sit in the bag and I almost never use them, as I just use the regular handle and use other things for my leg training like my core fitness dumbbells. Moving on, we have the door anchor. Most people want to know about the door anchor as being another option for your home training to do things like chest flies and presses, as well as other exercises you can do from home. Personally, I now avoid using the door anchor just because I have got it jammed in a door before, which required me to shoulder into the door to get it out, breaking the door itself. As this was an apartment, I'm pretty sure this came out of our security deposit, but just note, they can get stuck indoors, and I try to shy away from using that stuff. But if you know that your door is safe, go ahead and use the door anchor to do other exercises. There is a booklet that comes with the Whatafit bands and shows you how to properly insert them into your door so that they don't get stuck. However, it didn't even matter in the case when I did it because it was just too wide for the door, and when I put it in, it really just jammed the door in there, making it impossible to get the door jammer out. So again, make sure that you are using this correctly. Look at the demonstration, even check out YouTube for other ways to put it in, but just know I shy away from it personally, but if you want to use the door, you can for your training. Next, you will also receive a drawstring waterproof bag. I haven't tested out the water piece with it as it just sits in my office before my training. I'm not like going outside and using these in the rain or something like that, so I really don't care that it's waterproof whatsoever. It does fit all the bands very well, as well as all the attachments and the little booklet, so just know all those do fit very comfortably inside the bag. And the last 2 pieces are the exercise booklet, as well as how to put it in your door frame, and a little thank you card that you get that just has a thank you and the register information. And with that, let's take a look at the purchase details of what I paid and what you would pay now if you decide to buy it off of Amazon. Now, I bought the Whatafit Resistance Bands on May 17th of 2020 from Amazon.com. At the time, the price was $59.94, and this was during kind of the peak of the virus that is currently going around, and being under quarantine, the prices of things did jump pretty drastically right around that time. Shipping for it without Prime on this account was $8.04, and the Texas tax came out to $5.61. Creating a total for the Whatafit bands of $73.59. Now jumping onto Amazon, as of shooting this video, it is only showing at $49.99, so you would actually save about $9.95 if you purchase it today versus what I purchased it on May 17th. And quick note, I did receive it after 3 days of waiting, so I wasn't waiting months and months for me to receive the Whatafit bands. I actually got them on May 20th, so again, 3 days later. With pricing out of the way, let's take a look at the pros and cons list for the Whatafit Resistance Bands. My first pro is that the bands feel strong, durable, and provide a good resistance for your training. Now again, I've tested these for a little over a month, swapping them out for my U-Powex bands, which are one of my most highly rated pieces of equipment for home training. But just note, these are very similar to those and feel just the same overall. Next, the Whatafit Resistance Bands were very simple to set up and use. All you're doing is setting up little carabiners to connect them to the bands with the handles, or you can just use them themselves to do things like an overhead tricep extension, where I just grab the bands themselves and do them, or something like pull-aparts where I don't need handles at all. Now this type of resistance band is best for exercises that involve isolation, major pulling exercises, as well as trying to rehab from something like an injury. So yes, these can fit pretty well in your training depending on what the exercise is. For example, bicep curls are great with this. Just note that the strength curve will be different from a standard dumbbell, as the most resistance is actually at the top of the contraction. Another good exercise is something like bent over rows, but again, just remember that the strength curve in these is going to be different than using something like dumbbells. Resistance bands are always great for things like rehabbing, so if you need to take it easy and maybe drop down the resistance and have some simple resistance for working on a muscle group, I highly recommend resistance bands. Next, the booklet that comes with the Whatafit bands is actually really nice, showing you how to set them up, especially for things like your door frame. There, of course, are exercises you can learn from in there that don't use the door itself, but because it helps you set it up in your door frame, I actually find that this is a big pro for the device, as this is the most common question I get for my current U-Powex bands on how the door frame is with it, or using the door stopper with it. So just know, having that available to you is really great. You can always use YouTube to learn how to set it up, but having that just on hand within the bag is a great first step to using a door for your training. Just remember, don't do what I did and break your door. My next pro is that the Whatafit resistance bands are very simple to scale up your training and add additional resistance. All you're doing is clipping on the carabiners to additional resistance bands. So again, this can go up to about 150 pounds of resistance total if you're putting all 5 bands together. So maybe you're someone crazy and can do pretty heavy overhead pressing. Just remember that the strength curve is a bit different while using resistance bands versus standard free weight equipment. So that's just something to take into account when doing your home training. And my last pro is that the Amazon website says you get a lifetime guarantee. Now, I can't actually guarantee this for you. I think you have to go and register the product online, but I'm not sure if they really give you a full lifetime guarantee. The description says it, but if that's true, this would be a pretty great pro, as if you do break them, you could just return it. And note, at this time, I've never broken one of these types of resistance bands. I have received comments that people have received others not as well put together bands that they have snapped, but so far with the U-Powex bands, which are pretty much the exact same product as this, I've never actually snapped a band when using them. And that's it for the pros list, so let's jump into my cons list for the Whatafit resistance bands. My first con is that right now, these resistance bands are pretty pricey. Back when I got the U-Powex bands, I think these were just a little over $30, maybe even under $40. I think they're maybe mid-30s, and now they're upwards of the $60, even $70 in some cases, what I've seen, because of the virus and quarantine right now, and gyms not all being open at this current time. Now, I expect as more gyms start to open and things get back to normal, the price will go down as demand isn't so high for them online. But as of shooting this right now, I do find this is a con, as they are pretty highly priced for what I'd pay. I don't know if I go back and pay $70 again for something like this. I'd probably wait till they dropped within like the 30 to 40 range. This isn't really a con, but a weird thing I noticed is that the bag I received didn't have the Whatafit logo on it. So that kind of tells me that this might be just a white label product shipped from China that they just kind of threw all the things together and put in an Amazon warehouse. This just tells me that this product, while it is good overall, is just being relabeled by different companies over and over again, and then they're just shipping them out and putting them on Amazon. While again, the product itself isn't that bad, there's no real brand loyalty. I'm probably just going to stick with the U-Powex bands because of it, even though I'm pretty sure both of them are the exact same product overall, just with a different white label company on it. And that's it for my cons list. So the last question I always like to ask myself for these reviews is, would I buy the Whatafit resistance bands again? And the answer to this is yes and no. Since I already have the U-Powex resistance bands, I really don't need a second product of the exact same thing. If I didn't already own the U-Powex bands, yes, I would definitely buy these and use them again because, again, they are the exact same product. I love my U-Powex bands, and I think they're going to last me for years and years to come. But because I already have them, I really don't see a need to keep the Whatafit Resistance Bands. So if you're looking for resistance bands and want ones that are pretty much the exact same as my favorite I've ever purchased, the Whatafit bands will be perfect for you. Alright, and that's it on my review of the Whatafit Resistance Bands after using them for about a month. If you did like this review, please like and subscribe to GamerBody for more videos just like this one. Also, make sure to head over to GamerBody.com. There you can check out my home workout program as well as the equipment I currently own and the resources I'm using to build muscle and confidence from the comfort of home. Alright, and that is it for this video. So again, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Be fit and game on.